I am going to do a book review on Giraffes Can't Dance, written by Giles Andre and illustrated by Guy Parker Rees. This is a very colorful book that can teach students many different life lessons. This book is more for the primary grades. However, I think that upper elementary could also enjoy having this book read to them as well. This book is about a loving, tall giraffe named Gerald, whose knees are awfully crooked. Gerald is able to eat food that is high on trees because he is so tall. But Gerald has problems running around, and when he tries to, he buckles at the knees and falls over. This story takes place in Africa, and every year they have a jungle dance to show off each animal's dancing skills. This, of course, always frightened Gerald because he knew that although he had many other strengths, dancing was not one of them. He always wanted all the other animals, or he always watched all the other animals waltz, rock and roll, and tango, but he was never able to do that. One time, he tried to bravely walk to the floor, and before he even began to dance, the lions and all the other animals in the jungle started to make fun of him because they knew he was very clumsy. This really upset Gerald, and he walked off the dance floor and went home. But on his way home, he met a cricket who shared with him an important life lesson. He said, "Sometimes when you are different, you just need a different song." The cricket was a great friend to Gerald, and he told him that it was okay to be different. The cricket then played a song for Gerald, which helped him dance the way he wanted to. This gave Gerald the confidence to go back and try to dance again. When he went back to the dance floor, he showed all the animals that just because he is different doesn't mean that he can't dance. They were all so impressed with him and asked him how he could dance like that. He said, "We can all dance when we find music that we love." So I think that this book teaches several life lessons about how to be a good friend and how to be kind. One time I read this book to a kindergarten class, and they were really engaged with the story for the whole entire time. After reading the book, I asked some questions about kindness and friendship, and you could definitely tell that they learned something about how to be a good friend after reading this book. When I read this book myself, I connected with it in several ways. When I was younger, I was never very good at sports, and I dreaded going to PE. I was always very self-conscious about playing games like dodgeball or baseball, and how Gerald felt really reminded me of how I used to feel when I was younger. This also reminded me of when I see students playing at recess, and oftentimes one student is left out of activity. Gerald is a reminder to all teachers that we need to pay attention to how our students are treating one another. I remember a time in my last practicum experience where my teacher taught two young girls at recess how to be a good friend to one another. One of her students fell down and hurt herself at recess, and her other friend wasn't helping her very much. The teacher said to the friend, "Remember last week when you fell down and hurt yourself? And so, the girl that fell, came to help you and walked you to the nurse? She was being a good friend, and now that she is hurt, you need to be a good friend and do the same for her." It was really eye-opening to me to see this situation, and it reminded me that as teachers, we need to be looking for opportunities to teach our students how to be good friends to one another. This book is a very memorable piece of literature for children because of the vibrant colors and all the different animals involved in the story. The illustrations help tell the story, and you can actually see Gerald dancing on some of the pictures. This story integrates science by using sentences that can help teach children about different animals in a jungle. For example, "But the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar." This book is fiction because the animals talk and communicate with each other. However, although this book has fictional characters, These are situations that could happen in real life. Overall, I think this book has several different learning opportunities for students.